All right, so I'm having to play this on silent because Dog Daddy uses a lot of music in his videos, and so YouTube doesn't like that. It didn't like ban a video, but I got one of those like strikes or whatever, so I just figured I'd mute it. We could talk about it as it plays. So, Dog Daddy is extremely controversial for so many reasons, and I want to jump into that today for so many reasons. So, the first thing I want to say is Dog Daddy's style is probably the one thing I'll say he's got. Like, this man can rock any type of clothing. I mean, it's always kind of out there and slick and different. Like, look what he's wearing. Like, I mean, it's just, he always has like on some cool hat and some sunglasses. I gotta hand it to him. He has style. Okay. I will give him that. But I want to go through some of the things that are pretty concerning in these videos. So the first thing I want to say about the things that are concerning is Dog Daddy, he I think is more of a influencer than he is a dog trainer. And so sure, now using this space to get my message out there, and so I guess we're all influencers in some way. Most dog trainers are using social media, but Dog Daddy is specific to how he edits videos. And so I want to make it known that when Dog Daddy edits a video, that what you're seeing is very, very limited. Okay? Like when dog trainers work with a dog, it's a process. It's not just like, I grabbed the dog, he tried to bite me, and now look, check it out. I'm walking with this dog around other dogs. Like, that is not how dog training works. Behavior modification takes a long time, and I want to stress this because I don't want you guys to think that when you're hiring a dog trainer, you're going to do one session of behavior modification and your dog is now cured. It's not going to work that way. So, as you can see, our dog is muzzled here. We've got him muzzled on a harness. He's going at Dog Daddy. This dog does not look happy. It looks like the muzzle just fell off. Now, I want to point some things out about dog body language here. So, this dog is clearly avoiding Dog Daddy. Okay? He doesn't want to be around him. Like, it's not like they're friends now. This is kind of blurry. Let me see if I can get a better... Oh, yeah, okay. So he's just forcing him to pet him. Okay, right there. Okay, so see how he sat and he's looking in the other direction? Okay, this is called avoidance. He's avoiding the trainer, which is not something that I would want as a trainer. I think pretty much every dog that I've worked with is excited to see me. So I would never want a dog to avoid me like this. So this is already kind of a bit concerning. The other thing I want to point out is the dog, though in that previous clip when he did a few leash pops, so it appears like the dog is listening to him, but I can assure you the dog is not listening. The dog is being forced to do things that the dog does not want to do. And that's not dog training. When I train a dog, I want the dog to want to sit, to want to do a down, to want to heel, not to do it because I did a leash pop. And so this is a really common mistake and miscommunication and misunderstanding that I see, both on the part of the dog trainer and the client. So when a dog trainer grabs the leash and the dog doesn't sit, right? So they say sit, they grab the leash, they say sit, the dog does not sit. Then the dog trainer does a leash pop. That is not how you get a dog to sit, right? So if the dog sits and you do a leash pop, the dog is only sitting because you did a leash pop, not because you asked the dog to sit. You see what I'm saying? If I say sit and the dog does not sit, well, that means we need to revisit the cue sit. Okay, if I say down and the dog does not do a down, well, then we need to revisit our downs. We don't just do a leash pop because they didn't do it. And so trainers like Dog Daddy and other balance trainers will argue, well, he knows it. I taught him that already. He knows it. He's just being difficult. No, you're not a good trainer. That's what's happening. You're not a good trainer. You didn't teach the dog to sit in a way where the dog wants to sit for you. And in this training session, this is exactly what Dog Daddy is exhibiting, is this kind of training style where you force the dog to sit for you because you have some big ego and you think the dog should sit for you. That's what's happening. You're not getting the dog to sit because the dog wants to sit and the dog is trained. Those are two completely different things. So, okay. Oh God, this is so bad. This is so bad. All right. Oh God. Okay. So, if I'm dealing with a dog that has any kind of reactivity towards other dogs or humans, and in this kind of environment, we can't tell, right? Like, we don't know if the dog is reactive just towards other dogs or towards humans as well. But we're going to say it's just towards other dogs just for the sake of this video. When I'm dealing with a dog that has reactivity, I would not pair them up with other dogs that have reactivity. You want to pick a neutral dog, and you want to start with one neutral dog. You don't want to have a room full of dogs. So going back to what I was saying earlier about Dog Daddy's editing style and how, he kind of just edits it so it looks like it was like one session, I can assure you it's not. This was probably a process of who knows how long. No trainer in their right mind would take a dog that has any kind of reactivity issue and just pair them around a bunch of dogs, especially one that has reactivity. So also another thing that I want to mention is, if I am going to attempt to pair a dog with another dog, again, so that's going to be a neutral dog. And by the way, when I say neutral dog, I mean a dog that just is kind of nonchalant, doesn't really care. He's just chilling. Like, maybe it's an older dog and he just wants to lay down. Okay, that's the kind of dog I want to introduce a reactive dog to, because that dog is not going to react back and it's not going to escalate. Okay, so if I'm going to do this exercise, what I would start with is practicing our cues, and I really want to get a proper sit stay or down stay. Okay, so I want them by my side. I want them to lay down, or I want them to sit and be relaxed. And I want to practice this in environments where this is hard to do at first, right? So maybe just outdoors, or maybe at a, in your backyard, maybe at a park, maybe at the Starbucks. Do this in environments where this is hard to do before you even attempt to do this around another dog. Okay? So, and once you get that down, once you feel like you can get a good solid down stay or sit stay, then you can start practicing these things around other dogs. But even still, it would not be around a bunch of dogs. It would be, again, one neutral dog, and then I would slowly take it up. So I would take, I would do 2 neutral dogs, then 3, then 5. And if I'm really feeling ambitious and that things are great, then maybe I would start taking it up to between 5 and 10. But I would never just, your dog's reactive, here's another reactive dog, let's muzzle them and duke it out. It's a disaster. Like, so bad. So bad. Okay, so this is not a relaxed dog. See how he's walking really stiff? Okay, so we wouldn't want to, we don't, a good dog trainer would not want to, again, to force your dog walking really stiff, tail tucked. That's not proper dog training, and we accomplished nothing in this session. And so, the trainer is going, or the owner is going to take this dog, and it's going to be the same situation that it was previous to signing up for this class. And I think probably anyone who says otherwise is maybe being paid to say otherwise. I don't have any proof of that, so please don't, flag me for that. I'm just saying, I'm willing to bet that most people go home and the problem is still the same because there was no training here. Okay, we didn't see any real proper sit stays, down stays. We just saw him walk around with the dog and force him to do stuff. So anyway, that's some thoughts on Dog Daddy, and why Dog Daddy is hugely controversial. Most dog trainers don't like this guy. And if you do, please express your thoughts and opinions. Your thoughts and opinions matter. So write them below, start a conversation, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys next time. Cheers.